Better watch what we say from now on.
Yeah.
Take...
All right. Now it's... Did you ever figure out if that bug was a stag or a rhinoceros beetle?
Actually, I still haven't really looked into it.
Why not? Weren't Rokuro and Aizen pretty curious to find out too?
They're why I haven't. They both have really strong opinions, and they both make a believable argument. And if I determined it was a new kind of beetle entirely, my decision would change the very course of their fates.
Their fates? I think you're exaggerating things.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
We're still hashing out what that Rhinostagros really is. Kiddo here's holding off on his final decision because he's worried about how you'll take it.
You're both adults. Can't one of you just give in so we can move on?
It's a rhinoceros beetle. I'm not backing down on that.
No, it's a stag beetle.
Why not just take off the pointy bits? Then we can all agree it's just a plain old beetle. Simple.
Sounds good to me.
Don't even joke about that. If you took away my swords, I wouldn't have anything left. Same thing goes for a stag beetle and its pincers.
And taking away a rhinoceros beetle's horns is disrespectful to its way of life, and to even suggest it is just plain wrong. No, if we're going to argue it out over this, we need to exhaust every possible angle before coming to a conclusion. It's the right thing to do.
Madam Eleanor! Here's that field guide to rare insects of Midgand you wanted me to get you.
Thanks, Bienfu. Surely this book will have something about that bug. Yeah, here it is. This beetle's real name is... Argonathocrassus, the thick-jaw beetle.
It's named for its jaws? That must make it a stag...
It's a drone beetle. The field guide says it's a really rare variety, too. I guess that's that.
No, you're wrong. It's a brand new species. I call it the Laphicet Rhinostagros. That's my decision, and I'm not backing down.
The boss has given me a message for you. Says there's some sort of nasty demon running around in the Eldina Plains, to the east of Logris. She thought it might be the one you're looking for.
Wasn't the Eastern Highway closed off from Logris?
That was only temporary. It's back open now. If you follow the road, you'll reach Stonebury Village. There you'll find one of ours who actually saw the demon. You want to know more? That'd be a good place to start.
Got it.
Hey, that's the same direction I sensed the...
Give Tabitha our thanks.
It's looking more and more like we're on the right track. We ought to go check out that Bloodwing story.
Then let's start by going to Stonebury.
Hey, Eisen, did I say something wrong back there?
No. I just didn't think we needed to give the Bloodwings any information for free.
Huh?
He means the Earth Pulse points, kid. We're the only ones who know about them.
But aren't we on the same side as the Bloodwings?
We're not enemies with them. But I wouldn't go so far as to call them our friends either.
That's just how it goes in the underworld. Things can change at the drop of a hat. A poison hat.
But how are they supposed to trust us if we don't show them trust in kind?
That messenger knew our faces, even though we'd never met. He was here waiting for us, even though we hadn't told anyone where we were going.
You're right.
We hardly know the first thing about them, and yet they seem to know every move we make.
They could easily sell us out if it struck their fancy.
They'll work with us as long as we're a useful ally in their resistance against the Abbey. But the more tricks we can keep up our sleeve, the better.
We've got each other's back, but only as long as we hold a knife up our sleeve. That's what counts as trust in the underworld.
That sounds terrible. But at least you can trust that Tabitha's cooking will be tasty.
Can't argue that.
This is everyone's first time to Stonebury, right?
Why was it blocked off? Demons?
No, there was a great tornado on the Aldina Plains that swallowed up a whole merchant caravan. Hundreds gone in an instant.
The cooling of the climate is causing bouts of odd weather. Thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and the like.
Correct. The Abbey is keeping a tight guard on traffic through the affected areas.
If it's open now, that must mean the tornado is gone.
I wonder what sort of place it is.
It's quite lovely. In the vast forest to the east, you can find gemstones, and it's teeming with rare plants and insects. The locals trade only as much meat and hides as they need, and they live peaceful, quiet lives.
You sure know a lot about this place.
It's where the Norman he first fell in love with grew up.
Yeah! Please don't embarrass me. Though we are apart from each other now, our hearts are still as one.
Immediately after you and I made our pact and set off, she fell in love with some macho Norman and moved away.
What? Why haven't I heard about this? How long have you known?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I found out during my long search for you. Or maybe it was right after we left. I remember leaving something in the village and going back to... Oh well, not like it matters.
It does matter!
There's no sense in crying over a fickle girl. Come, Stonebury awaits.
The Eastern Plain is finally open for travel. I hear that the people of Stonebury are alive and well. My husband and I can breathe a sigh of relief.
I wasn't worried about him at all.
He talks tough, but he was really worried. Oh, sorry you don't know who we're talking about. It's his apprentice.
What kind of apprentice?
My husband's an architect. Even the royal family and the Abbey commission his work. He's been at the docks here on a job. He just finished and we're about to return to Logris.
These people don't care about all that.
Why did your apprentice go to Stonebury?
He's young and talented, but a bit eccentric. He said he wanted to help create a new town, so he set off to the frontier.
A craftsman has to focus on his work. Creating a new town. Ha! He should know his place.
But my husband didn't disown him. That boy's fearlessness reminds me of my husband when he was young.
So you understand how he feels then?
I didn't say that. If he thinks he has the talent, he's free to do as he likes. But if he doesn't follow through with it to the end, I'll be done with him.
Did you hear that? He thinks the boy can do it. If you ever find yourself in Stonebury, go visit that boy's workshop.
Right, I'll do that.
Sorry about my husband. He can be a real grump.
Don't worry about it. I'm pretty used to people like that.
Hey, What's that supposed to mean?
I'm so happy things have been peaceful around the capital. I can come to the harbor to shop without fear. I heard that those demons that made a mess of the palace have been wrecking towns all over, though. But Shepherd Artorias and the fine folks at the Abbey are on the job. I bet those demons are quaking in their britches.
Let's hope that's the case.
Of course it is. Lord Artorias is incredible. The demons have been mostly cleared from the area around the capital.
Your love for the Abbey and the Shepherd are great and all, but I'd keep it down. If you keep poking around the bushes, you might catch yourself a snake.
A snake?
There's a rage-crazed girl out there who hates the Abbey. She's a real viper, that one.
She sounds awful.
That's what I hear.
Who are you calling a viper?
Velvet! Let me in this instant!
You can't come in. And if you do, I'll eat you.
It's not just your room, you know.
You took an oath to obey my every command if you lost our fight. And I'm commanding you to wait just a little longer.
What are you doing out here in the hall?
I left to go out on a little errand, but when I came back, Velvet shut me out of our room. I've been standing here for over half an hour, but she seems no closer to letting me in. I don't know what to do.
Any idea what she's doing inside there?
No, I don't have a clue. All I can tell you is that sometimes I can hear something like deep breathing and soft moaning.
Well, she must be doing something in there she doesn't even want a fellow woman to see.
Something she doesn't want seen. Do you think maybe she's weighing herself?
Even if you allow for getting undressed and then dressed again, there's no chance it takes half an hour to weigh yourself.
Could she be putting on makeup? I've been yelled at for barging in on that before, although not by Velvet.
That's just because you're a guy. I hardly think Velvet would have a problem with me saying that.
This is no time to just stand there lollygagging, kiddo. Velvet is obviously in great danger this very minute. Her life is hanging in the balance.
She's right. You know Velvet, never letting her weaknesses show. She probably kicked Madame Eleanor out because she didn't want anyone to see her in such bad pain.
That would explain the heavy breathing and moaning, too.
Now that you mention it, right before I left, she had a stiff expression and she did not look well.
Well, kiddo, are you going to abandon her in her time of need? The moment to test your mettle has come at last!
Test my mettle.
Will you go in there or won't you? The fated decisive hour has finally arrived!
Velvet!
What is it, Fee?
Huh? Well, I thought you might die. So I...
Seriously? A little cleaning isn't gonna kill me.
But you were looking pale, and we could hear you breathing strangely and making weird sounds.
I don't think I was breathing strangely.
Then what was that noise? It sounded like...
When you're cleaning glass, you breathe on it first, don't you?
Then what about the moaning?
The inn has this room cleaned regularly, but they missed a lot of the details. When I looked at the cups, I saw they still had tea stains from whoever drank out of it last. That's enough to make anybody moan in disappointment.
Oh, I see. But if you told me you were cleaning the room, I would have offered to help you know.
Everyone has their own unique way of cleaning things, so in the end it's just faster to do it myself. My sister had her own ways, and I'm sure you do too, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, I'm finished so you can come back in again. Whew, what a relief to have that all done.
It's a history book titled The Rise and Fall of Midgand. About 800 years ago, our continent was conquered by a military force from another continent. Few records exist of the following 500 years. A period known as the Era of Darkness, or the Dark Period. Then 300 years ago, a great hero named Claudin Asgard reunited the kingdom, bringing an end to the Dark Period.
Claudin, huh? Where have I heard that name before?
All right, that's enough for today.
Thanks for teaching me, Arthur. Your techniques are so amazing. Where did you learn them?
They came from my own master, a man named Claudin. He developed them himself.
Wow, they're so graceful. I wish I could move like that.
I've taught you the forms, but for some reason your execution deviates from the ideal.
Well, my body just kinda moves on its own.
You're a handful, Velvet. But I will say you do resemble Claudin some. He was a strange person himself. He always wore this peculiar cape, for instance.
Cape, you say?
Deep down, Claudin was strong like fire, vivacious like water, steadfast like earth, and free like wind. I can't help but admire him to this day.
Wow, I'd love to meet him.
Sadly, that's impossible.
Is he dead?
Yes, he is. He died to protect me. That's why
No way. The events recounted in this book happened 300 years ago. It can't be the same Claudin.
Velvet, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't mind me.
King Claudin was quite strong, wasn't he?
He was more than just that. He's the most well-loved and trusted king in our history. Or so the book claims.
To this day, all of Midgand's rulers claim to be direct descendants of King Claudin Asgard. Knowing that, there might be meaning behind them bestowing Artorias with the grandiose title of Shepherd. I could see it as an attempt to recreate the same glory enjoyed by the Hero King who ended the Dark Period.
If that's true, it's a childish ploy. The world's not so easily changed.
I wouldn't be so sure. What matters is that the title inspires hope in the people, who in turn give him their support. Then, as their shepherd, he can guide his flock in any direction he pleases.
If Artorias knowingly accepted that title, we can be sure he's fully committed to his cause.
Oh, he's certainly committed. I've seen just how far he's willing to go.
Come, sinner, and repent your wicked deeds.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you, with those eyes that would belong on the Reaper's face.
Oh?
I'm sorry for bothering you, sir. If you don't have anything you need to confess, that's fine.
No, actually, there is one thing I'd like to get off my chest.
Of course. Go right on ahead.
This all happened a long time ago. But this Turtles brought over a painting by the master artist Beryl Benito. It was a gorgeous work of art. Too beautiful for words. The price was a little steep, but I couldn't help myself. Only later, I found out it was a total fake.
So, you want to repent for letting yourself be guided by worldly desires?
No, buying it was my decision. I don't have any regrets. Even if the painting itself was fake, my heartfelt admiration for its beauty was real.
What are you going on about?
Did you say something?
Nope. Then for what do you wish to repent?
The truth is, when I saw that painting, I didn't have enough money on me. So I swiped 100 gold from my little sister's hidden savings. That's the one part I wish I'd done differently.
I see. Fear not, my son. No matter what the Empyreans may decide, I know your sister would forgive you.
I hope so.
Come, sinner, and repent your wicked deeds.
Do you mean me?
Yes. Or at least I would. But perhaps you're too young to have done anything to repent.
No. There is something. I've kept it a secret so far, but I'll confess it now.
And I shall listen, my son.
Not too long ago, I found a slug in the forest. And I read in a book that if you sprinkle salt on a slug, it'll shrink. I wanted to try it out for myself. So
you sprinkled salt on the slug. It's true, that was not a good act. But if the experience taught you to respect life and its fragility, then the slug's sacrifice was not in vain, and...
No, that's not what happened. I messed up and I put sugar on the slug, not salt. And then the sugar attracted a whole bunch of ants to the slug. And it was awful.
Ugh.
I'm so sorry, Slug. You didn't deserve that.
It's okay. I forgive you. It was all a terrible accident.
There's one more thing. I wanted to see what would happen if I poured sugar water down an anthill. And I'm sorry to you too, ants.
Kids can sure be weirdly cruel sometimes.